everyone. Today I'd like to do something different and share my vegan story. Tomorrow is my birthday and the greatest present you could ever give me is to go vegan tomorrow, Monday, October 9th. It's free. All you have to do is make different food choices. So here's my vegan story. I've actually been vegan 15 years ago, almost to the day. It was September 2002. And prior to that, I grew up in a small town in Kansas, which, as you can imagine, Kansas isn't exactly the vegan capital of America, but it's getting better, especially Kansas City. So I grew up eating the standard American diet. However, I did get sick on roast when I was a very little girl, probably around 6. So my family let me stop eating red meat. But unfortunately, I continued to eat mainly chicken until my 20s. And then I got into yoga. And yoga teaches the practice of ahimsa. And ahimsa is a Sanskrit word that means non-harming. That we're doing our best to cause the least amount of harm with our actions to other beings, other people, and animals. So it was very easy for me. I'm lucky that being vegetarian was not a big deal to me at all. And I actually didn't even know what the word vegan was. I was living in Kansas City in 2002. I don't remember knowing anybody who was vegan. I don't even remember hearing the word that was vegan. But I was very sick. I was having a lot of allergies, asthma, and I had very bad skin. I had a lot of acne. And I was using my inhaler way too much. I would lay in bed at night and I could just feel this medicine pulsing through my veins, and I just couldn't get my bronchioles to dilate no matter how much I used my inhaler. Well, it turned out I was allergic to dairy, but I had no idea why, because my doctors, the dermatologists, no one ever asked me what I call the 4 magical words. What are you eating? No one ever mentioned to me that it could be my diet. So I was very blessed to attend a peace conference with Marianne Williamson in Michigan in 2002. And Dennis Kucinich spoke, and he was a congressman from Ohio. He got up on stage, and I really felt like the universe wanted me to be in the audience that day to hear his inspiring talk about his health. He had had a lot of health problems. His doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with him, but he was fortunate to read a book called Diet for a New America that John Robbins wrote. And John Robbins was the son and heir to Baskin Robbins. His dad and his uncle had started the ice cream empire. And he said they had ice cream for breakfast, they had an ice cream cone-shaped swimming pool, but then he started noticing that people were getting sick in his family from all the ice cream. His uncle who started the company had a heart attack and died in his early 30s. His dad developed diabetes. So long story, he became plant-based and wrote this amazing book called Diet for a New America. And Congressman Dennis Kucinich had read the book and decided that he was going to adopt a plant-based diet to see what would happen, because he was not feeling well, and miraculously his health problems went away. So I'm in the audience going, well, I'm already vegetarian. This is easy. This is a no-brainer. All I have to do is take out dairy and eggs, which I wasn't attached to at all. So I went back to Kansas City, and again, I didn't know anybody. Back then, there were no meetups, there were no potlucks, there weren't documentaries, there probably were cheese substitutes, but I didn't know about them, like there are today, all the amazing plant-based alternatives. But I just went back and really listened to my body, and I'd always loved plant-based foods, especially grains and vegetables and beans, so it was very easy for me, and miraculously my skin cleared up almost immediately, and I got off this silly inhaler. I just keep it on me as an emergency, and I got off my nasal steroid for allergies. So it was just like a total win-win. I immediately felt better, and I just stuck with it for 15 years. I never looked back because I felt so good. Unfortunately, I didn't understand at the time when I went vegan about the cruelty also that's involved in the dairy, veal, and the egg industry. And once I learned more about those practices, I completely went vegan for the animals, for ethical and spiritual reasons. I didn't know that dairy cows spent their whole lives being impregnated by the farmers against their will, and that the second they deliver their calf, we take their calf away from them so they can never bond, because the crying is so loud that no one can bear it. It's heartbreaking. So instead of the mother giving her baby calf her milk, she gives us her milk. Humans take her milk, and then the baby calf gets formula, and then if it's a boy calf, it goes and gets locked up in a veal crate and gets slaughtered before the age of 1. I had no idea absolutely no idea. And this is the lifespan of a dairy cow. And then we impregnate her again, and we take her babies again, and we take her milk, and this is her whole life until she gets killed by her farmers. So it was devastating to me. And then the egg industry, even if it's backyard chickens, you just want to be really careful about that hatchery and what they're doing with the male chicks, because normally male chicks get ground up, and I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news. This is also very, shocking to me, but you can see videos online of little baby chicks, boy chicks, going into grinders or being suffocated in bags because they just don't need that many roosters. They need all the girls to lay the eggs. So if you do eat eggs and you know where you're getting them from, also ask, what is the hatchery doing with those male chicks, okay? Because there's a great chance they could be getting killed. And also, eggs just have a ton of cholesterol. As Dr. Neil Barnard said, one egg has more cholesterol than an 8-ounce steak. So you just don't need that in your body because your body makes its own cholesterol. So again, once I learned about these practices, I was completely done. And again, I just share them to hopefully inspire you to leave animal products off your plate, including dairy and eggs and cheese and ice cream, because there are now so many amazing substitutes, from Miyoko's cheese to So Delicious ice cream and all kinds of ways. And I'd love to help you. You can message me if you need any ideas for your favorite animal products, and I will set you up. And you can also visit my YouTube channel. I have lots of delicious vegan recipes under my name, and I just really appreciate you taking the time to watch this and consider making more compassionate choices and saving animals with your food choices. So thank you very much. I hope you'll join me tomorrow on Going Vegan or Meatless Monday.